Hey, the last email I sent out was an announcement about the Parenting Revolution workshop coming up. What I want to talk about today is what does that even mean? What even is revolutionary parenting? In my experience, after helping families over the years, I can say that one of the most revolutionary things we can do as parents is to be introspective and humble about our parenting. If you think about the way you were raised, humble, introspective, those are not words that describe my experience with my parents. I can tell you that. So, from almost all of us, that was not modeled to us in a healthy way when we were growing up. And it is revolutionary to take a look at ourselves, to look at the lifetime of experiences that we have under our belts by the time we become parents, to look at our own weaknesses and flaws, to look at messaging that we were taught about parenthood and bring all of that to bear in our parenting, not in a guilty way, not in a shameful way, but in a way that's about curiosity, exploration, learning, and growing, because that's exactly what we're trying to do for our kids, right? We're trying to shepherd them through their lives with exploration, curiosity, learning, and growing without shame, without guilt, without blame. That's something we want for them, but we find it so hard to do for ourselves. So when we do that, first of all, it is revolutionary because it's something that was not modeled for us, but also it's amazing modeling for our kids. So if you're coming into your parenting thinking, I know I want to do something different, I know I want to be better, but I just can't figure out how, this workshop is for you. One of the things we're going to be talking about is some of these cornerstones of revolutionary parenting. And for me, there are three benchmarks that I look for here. Those cornerstones are number one, revolutionary parenting is active and intentional. It is not our default. It's not just dealing with what's fallen into our lap and being like, okay, well, here I am. And we don't just shrug about it. It's about looking at that stuff and being on purpose with our parenting, literally parenting on purpose. The second thing about revolutionary parenting is being curious and exploratory in our parenting. That means actually learning new stuff, learning new skills that are based on information and knowledge, but that also resonate with us in our personality. So it's about bringing ourselves to bear. It's learning and integrating that learning into our actual humanity and who we really are. And if you once again think about how you were raised, that sounds probably a little bit different, right? A little bit of a departure from the past. And the third thing is, for me, revolutionary parenting is vulnerable and slow, which is kind of the opposite of what most people's default is, whether we're talking about because of our past or just because as people, we feel protective and defensive of ourselves often. It's painful to look at our flaws. And when we feel defensive, we speed up. That's just natural human behavior. We start to defend ourselves, right? And so, we wind up being sped up and trying to attack problems and face things head on in a way that's not really productive. When we're actually doing this new kind of parenting that we're going to be talking about in this workshop, we are slowing down. We might be breathing sometimes. We might be really forcing ourselves to be open and vulnerable so that we can actually grow and approach this problem from a place of groundedness, centeredness, and intention. This is all of the stuff that I'm going to be teaching in Parenting Revolution. So I really want you to be there. Remember that you have two chances to attend, either come on Sunday night or Monday during the day, either one. So you can see that it's set up so that the most people possible can make it. And I really want to see you there. One last thing before I go. One of the questions that you're going to hear me ask over the next couple weeks, and we'll be asking again in this workshop, is what did childhood teach you about parenting? This is such a powerful question, and I think it also behooves us to ask ourselves kind of the flip side of that question, which is, what are our kids learning about parenting from their childhoods? What are we teaching our kids about parenting? This is why this workshop is called Revolutionary Parenting, because it's choosing to be intentional, vulnerable, active parenting on purpose. That means that we have a chance to be the difference for our kids. The answer to that question, what do our kids learn about parenting from us, can be completely different than the answer to what did we learn about parenting from our childhood. We get to be the break in a long generational cycle of parenting from a place that doesn't serve children, and actually be the change in childhood for our kids, for future generations, for society even. And that might sound kind of grandiose, but it's truly the mission behind my work. And it's truly the mission behind this workshop. And it is truly what I believe in my heart. So I cannot wait to see you next month. And I want you to click on the link in this video description and register right away. This workshop is free and it could literally change your life and your kids' childhood. So, what could you possibly be waiting for? I want to see you there. Bye, everybody.